Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of MudBrains TV Do-It-Yourself Building Vader Life. Hello, Cookie Communist. The first one in the stream. That's very nice. I haven't been live streaming for something like 7 days, and that's due to the fact that I was working on the SNES Mini Classic, whatever, like a very big video for me, and it took me quite a long time to finish it. It's one of my most difficult videos, a lot of shots, a lot of everything, and I had to finish it first, and I finished it, and I'm very glad that I did. And today the SNES came out, and yeah, the video is online. Very, very nice. So now it's back to Vader. It's so long that I just have to get reaccustomed to doing it. Just a recap where I left off. Yeah, helmet hasn't been changed for a couple of live sessions, and I think it won't be addressed today either. So, helmet goes away. And the last thing that I did was I was working on the cheeks of, let me see how the video is. Yeah, I was working on the cheeks of Vader, and I glued some stuff to there, and I haven't trimmed it yet. Here, I glued stuff on there on this lower edge. Here on the on the cheekbone and stuff like that. So what's on the menu for today? I want to attach the side tubing to Vader. So this has to go into place, which will end up somewhere here. I will finish the cheek portion of the model. I hope to start skinning the model. It means that I will apply the final layer to the surface, at least here in the front part. Here I have to finish the curvature here on both sides of the lower part of the mask. I'll have to cut in the respirator triangle in the lower part. Yeah, I think that should take or keep me busy for a while. Yeah, that's the game plan. I played a little bit with the video settings. I hope it's okay. Here, for example, I switched the top camera to color. So I hope it helps to differentiate the stuff that you see more. And yeah, that's basically it. I will start to cut the pieces here, and hello, Samyang. Yeah, day 14, finally. And I hope I get a lot done today. Thanks for checking in back, even though I have been offline for so long. Yeah, I'm really excited to, or I'm a bit scared to attach these here, for they have to be attached on the lower side as well as on the upper side. And I actually don't know how I will do that for yeah, I think I will have to make it as I go along. Here, another thing that I changed is when I look at the chat now, I don't have to look to here. Now I can look to here. So I hope it feels not this disruptive, like looking to there just to see the chat. I actually have a, let me show you. Here, I got two monitors here now. So here I can check the video that's going out, and here I can see what's going on inside of YouTube. Here, the problem with this camera still is that it's like way too saturated, and I can't put it into a black and white mode or something. And yeah, I still have to find a solution for that. Here, just to show you what the next task will be. Here, I switch that. Now maybe to this camera. Here, this cheekbone parts here, they have a lip or an edge on their lower part. I will have to build that, and I think for that I will just add another piece of cardboard here, cut it away, and then put on like the final skin for it. And as you can see, the side piping will be somewhere like here. And there's some problem with the way I set it up, but I will just have to brute force it. Okay. Now I will cut the lower lip here. And the nice thing is, for it definitely had enough time to dry. Now it's very, very easy to cut it, or now it's not even cutting, now it's more like carving wood, and it's like, yeah, very, very easy to do now, as compared to wet cardboard. No. Camera one. Yeah, I just have to re-access my muscle memory to change the cameras. Here. As I pointed out in earlier live streams, I think I will never do a project like Vader in a live stream again, for it just takes way too long to finish. And yeah, this is just not the right project for a live stream. I think best would be some stuff that takes maybe like 1 or 2 days. So some around like 10 hours, where maybe interested parties can actually build along while I do the stuff here. I think this will be this would be way more interesting. Let me know what you think. Okay, there's a couple of things here. This edge, for example, is like very pointed, and I will have to cut that down a bit. Okay, there's still the problem that, or not the problem, that this side here comes up to a higher level as compared to this side. That means I will have to shorten it, but I don't think that I will do it now. Okay, main task is to attach these things here to the side somehow, and I'm not sure about how I will do that. It seems as if I will need to have to extend this respirator side part here a little bit. Okay, this looks like a good fit. Here, I lost my markings on this side when I glued the paper on top of everything. Here I will like reintroduce these. Okay, these things will be topped off with a screw here, and maybe I will attach the screw first. Yeah, I don't know how I will go along here. Maybe I should glue down or just tape down the mask now, for there will be a lot of rocking it back and forth. And I hope that this way it's easier to work with it. Okay, this will be here. Yeah, I think I will have to cut out some material here, so I can really insert it into the respirator part. Here, like this. Then I will straighten this out to attach the this head screw here. Yeah, here there's just a lot of tweaking and just trying to make stuff fit now. Here, and I think my safest bet for to attach these things here is to add some paper on top of them, and then just glue this paper to the inside of the lower part of the mask. And I think this way they will be held in place, like this, and then to put this on the inside of the mask. I hope you can see it, or I hope you can imagine what I'm talking about. Okay, I will cut away more material from this tubing. I always pushed this part away from me, for I don't really have an answer on how to do it the right way. Yeah, and this tubing is there to conceal the joining edges from the top and the bottom part of the mask, and I think that's why they introduced that to the design. Okay, here drastic cuts here for here. These two parts will be separated. For this part will attach to the lower part of the mask, and the other one to the upper. And yeah, I think this this lower part might fit like this. Now I just have to give it a straight front. For that is where I will this head nut then. And this is like the part in modeling where I finish off the structural parts of the mask, and after this, and here this is a bigger piece of work, then I can start to actually work on the final surface. Now I try to I just try to mark the position of this. Now I will do the same fitting for the other side. And I think this way with cutting away some of the material here, that this actually works. So. Okay, I need to take away much more, but I must watch out not to take away too much, or there's no stability left. Hi, hello to Czechian. My son is actually in Czechian right now. Thanks for turning in. Or you're turning in? Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in. Thanks a lot. Yes, here now I will mark down the like this straight line where I have to cut it. I just have to get into the rhythm again of working on Vader. For, as I said before, it took me quite a long while to make the SNES video. This might work. Okay, I have to separate the tubing on this part too now. And I will do it at the same position. Okay, there's an offset here, but I think I can live with it. No, maybe I will just shorten the side that is too long. Yeah, I really don't know yet how to attach the pieces. I just have a rough idea, but I'm not sure how big the gaps will be that I will introduce to the whole model. I hope it will be minimal. But whenever I hoped it will be minimal, it was like nothing close to it. Okay, here I prepared some coffee for it's late. What do you mean, la 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 XD? Or la la la? I don't know. I don't know. Whoa. I'm singing. I don't even, I haven't noticed that I have been singing. I'm just a bit, nervous for this is a make or break thing, at least in my mind. I think it looks good, and just to have a better. Why am I singing? I don't know. Or why I'm nervous, or oh. Yeah, I'm nervous for I have a certain image in my head how this whole sculpture should look when it's finished. And now I've been working on it for like, I don't know, 40, 50 hours. And whenever there are some steps that could like kill this image that I have of the final thing, then I'm nervous, for I don't want the time to be wasted. And I'm live here, so for me it's still yeah, something of pressure. Or it's not my life's goal to be live. Oh, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I make my reacting to the chat here. I make my project for 4 years now. I have it completed, but I'm not happy. Look, and I hope that I will be happy. But can't you like change stuff, or is it impossible to go back into your project and to like fix the stuff that went off course? For here, the thing was cardboard, and I think yeah, some of you might have seen it on the stream. I did some drastic changes to okay, but if you have new ideas now, for your project, then you learned some. Then you took something from your build, and if that helps to improve, yeah, they might stick out a bit too much, but I think I can live with that. For it's like yeah, it's like over exaggerated, but I think it's fitting. Yeah, send me a link or something. Send it as a PM or like as a private message. I would like to have a look. Okay, these two screws here will be two of the only parts that will receive I will not cover them in this basic brown paper, but I will cover them in some very light paper. Here, and maybe I can show you. Here, maybe some of you have seen the new video here on this SNES that I built, and I here will cover the screws, these head nuts, in something like this. For they're normally silver, and I want them to have a different hue than the rest of the model. Oh, here the one button is broken, but let me fix that right now. Here, this is why I haven't been streaming for some days. For I wanted to have this finished, or I needed to finish it before the SNES Classic hit retail. Okay, I hope this will stay in place now. Okay, here, but just to show the rest of Vader, or most of the mask, will be covered in something like a brown paper like this, and the head nuts here that are on the front of the respirator will be covered in something like this very light or near white paper. I put that there. Here, I hope here that the glue has dried. Okay, there's still some gaps. Maybe you can see it down here, but I think if I first glue them to the back side, and then I can take care of the gaps there, then it should work out. So I will mark this down to how long they will be. Okay, that's for the one side. Can you send it to me as a message where your work is, or like post it in the comments below? For right now, I can't watch it, and there is no way for me to save the chat. I will look at it and then I will leave a comment. Yeah. I will do the same thing for the other side. And now I will try to attach these onto here. And as I pointed out, they are supposed to cover the edge between the upper and the lower part. And that means that I will cut myself some paper stripes. Okay, let me see how long they're supposed to be. Let me see if this works out. For now, I would like to glue this onto here, and then like attach it like this. It might work. It might work. Yeah, maybe I can just. Yeah, there's an idea. I don't send here. No, can you post it to the comments of the video? I don't know if the comments are accessible right now. Yeah, maybe. Wait, I will take a photo of the screen. Oops. And maybe I can type the URL in. Okay, I know that I want to have half of the tubing like be above the edge level, which means that wait, here I will have to attach this paper in a way that yeah, it's coming up exactly to the middle of the tube. And then I should be able to glue this whole flap to the inside. Here's something is blocking my the nozzle of the glue. Okay, this seems to work. I just have to make sure that the glue is dry enough before I put any stress on there. And now here I got my marking here, and now I just want to glue this in here. Now I have to add a little bit of curvature here. Okay, it's flapping all around, but I can fix that later on. I don't know if there will be enough stability here, but I will have to try. Here, the problem is that there's just a very small point of contact between the two pieces. But I hope it will work out. Okay, when I'm looking at the inside of the mask here, I see that there is so much work. It's a bit frightening. Okay, I've tried to check with the top part on there, and I have to move it more to the front. It has to be somewhere here. Yeah, it will be interesting how I can like put stuff below this line to actually hold it in place. Okay, this looks kind of all right. Even though I just moved it a bit as compared to my original markings here. Okay, so first thing before I nice phone, thanks. Okay, the best thing about it, now it's not a new phone, it's like it's a bit older, like nearly 2 years, but the best thing is this lens that I can attach to it. For this way I can take some videos. And in most of my YouTube videos, this is like the second camera, the one that I always turn to black and white. Yeah, very big objective. Okay, I try to increase the strength of the sidebar now with adding additional brown paper here, and then I will just try to wrap it around the whole thing, and I hope this stops this wobbling. Or at least that it like limits the wobbling a bit. Let's see. Now I try to really get under. Under it. Here, then I try to press down on the brown paper, and just then I pull it back. And in this way I have a connection down here, and then I will have another connection here on top of this, and I hope this will Hey, thanks for watching, bye bye. I hope I can see your stuff with the link that I photographed, and if not, we will figure out something the next time. Bye bye, and I hope to see you again. Okay, now I roll this around here, and here, as you can see, I really try to put this in there and like to force it in a bit. And for now there's some additional glue inside of there, and I hope it will provide enough stability for the whole thing. Okay, that's a good idea with day 12. I will watch the comments tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye bye. Okay. Here, now this is it roughly for the one side of the mask. And now I got some overhang here, but I will just cut that away. Here. If it doesn't fit, just make it. For everything will be covered with a whole final layer of some kind of brown paper. There's not really a problem for me if I disturb the surface now. Okay, so I will recheck the positioning of this part, and as I suspected, the marking moved a bit. Oops. Now the one side is not really conforming to the other side. I will just try it. In the end, I always have the possibility to like stretch this a bit. And that's why I was nervous about starting this, for I knew there would be problems. There had to be. Okay, but when these pieces here are attached to the lower side, it really starts to look good. I like it. I like it very much. I will use the same procedure that I used on the other side. This means I will give myself a center line here. And then I will glue this paper up to the center line. And then I will use the flap to glue it to the inside here. This is like this. Okay, this can be shortened a bit. Yeah, there's not very much that I can talk about while doing this. But I hope you can see that this really helps the mask to yeah, to move more into its final stages. For what we're adding right now could rightfully be described as detail. which then means it's the first steps of detailing, and the coursework is like nearly finished. And I will just check in here. Okay. Here now I will glue this up to the marked line here. And then I will make sure that that the glue is dry enough to hold the weight. I think next up I will have to like blend these two surfaces together and the whole thing into the neck piece here, for there's not much more to do on the outside of the lower part at this stage. Just before I can finish the whole thing, I will have to add this outward slope here, or this here when it is, I don't know, can you see it here? Here, there needs to be an outward slope here so that it does not cut into the neck near the collarbones. But I haven't started doing that for right now. It's really helpful that I have it that I can still stand it down very firmly, and that makes working on it much easier for me. Okay, so I try to get a rough positioning here, and then I will check it against the top part of the mask. And maybe this needs to go out a bit. And I will draw that in. Maybe I can hold it like this. Okay, and let me see. Yep, this looks kind of good. I think I can work with it. Okay, now I will glue in this part, and then I will counter it from the other side to give it more stability. Very good. Okay, this was too much glue. I try to take some away. I will give it a little bit of time to pre-dry, and yeah, I will rub the remainder of the glue off my fingers. Very good. I think I will come a huge step closer to finishing this mask today. For I was finally able to start detailing. This starts to look like the Vader neck piece. I love it. I love it. Okay, maybe I have to do some filing on the inside there, for I need these pieces to stay flush with this surface. And I will need to add some cardboard here for right now. It's really difficult to get the stability that I need for it. Here I take some throwaway paper. To now like counter glue it, this part here. I just needed to have the right length. This would be somewhere here, and now I will glue this onto here. And then I will turn the whole thing out, and then I will continue the process of gluing it down on the inside. And that should give me added stability. Okay, so first for the inside, and then for the outside. Okay. Here and now I really try to push this in here. And I will give it enough time to settle down. Okay, and just then I push it to the outside. I can. It's important right now to add as much as material as possible to the connection point between these two pieces, for it's just a very, very small point of contact, and this is not the best thing for a very sturdy construction. But these two pieces here, they won't take any weight. So they're more or less just decorative pieces, and they're there to hide the edge between the lower and the upper part. So all they need to do is stay in place. And that's what they start to do. So there will be some little repairs that I'll have to do. But that is okay. Let me check again. Okay, both pieces, both of these tubings want to angle outward. So maybe I have to remove a bit more material, especially on the left side here. But yeah, let me see if it's still possible. And right now I have to really make sure not to rip the whole thing from where it's glued. This is like the perfect point to like really cut my fingers for. There is no stability here. But I hope to avoid that. Yeah, once I finish these tubing things here, then I will move on to the lower part of the neck piece. I will blend the surfaces to have a smooth overall surface, and then I will cut the respirator triangle in there. I will see how far I can take it today, but I try to put in as many hours as possible, for I need to make up for some of the time that I lost building the SNES. No! Oh! Okay, there I applied too much pressure. This happens from time to time. and I ripped it apart. Okay, I think the best way to keep them from angling outward will be to just put a little piece of cardboard down here, and this will, like, yeah, keep them from doing that. I will reattach this head nut here. Yeah, the problem with cardboard is that it's made up from different layers, and the glue will just stick to one layer. So it's very easy to rip one thing from the other. Okay, now I just need a little piece of cardboard that I can glue down here. Actually on both sides. Here I will add a piece of cardboard right in the ridge here. And this should prevent here both parts of the tubing to sag to the outside. Okay. Yeah, and I'm taking some normal cardboard here, just some very regular stuff for when I have this attached, because it's made up from layers. And then later on I can flood it with some glue and sculpt it, at least to a certain degree. And this way it won't even be noticeable that I inserted some stuff there. And I think the best way to do it is to attach the helmet and then, yeah, here, look that the angle is as I want it. Maybe I can even, yeah, I will hold everything in place with some painter's tape. For this way I can move the whole sculpt left and right and up and down, and it will be much easier to have everything in the right position. Okay, and here now I will add one long piece of tape to the front here. Yeah, for now I know they're in the right position, or in the position that I want them to be in, and now I can add maybe I can show it like this. I'll add some additional light here. And now I can add the cardboard down here. And this should keep everything in place then. I use a little, I use kind of a lot of glue here, but that helps me to like slide it into place. I hope this works. I don't know if this is the perfect technique, but I think it should add enough tension to keep the tubing from going down. We got tubes going down. Okay, same thing on the other side. I add like a lot of glue. I roughly position it and then I push it in there. Okay. I will give it some time to rest. And now Vader looks like he has been through a boxing match. I think I will take a photo of it for this looks as if he got a nose job. Yeah, maybe I can use this photo for a thumbnail. Okay, I will remove the bandage. Yeah, it seems to provide some stability. But now I have to make sure not to disrupt it while it's drying, or it will come down again. Here, I reinforce this with a little bit of painter's tape here, and maybe the same on the other side. And then while this is drying, I can prepare the next pieces of cardboard that I need. Okay, for now, the next thing will be that here, this part of the cheeks will need to be addressed. For there's like one surface here, and it is angled inwards towards the lower edge, which means I will attach like 1 or 2 layers of cardboard here, which I cut away. which I will angle on the lower edge. And then that should be done. And the next thing here is that I want to have one surface running across the whole of the nose, or across the whole of the upper cheek thing. It really helps once these tubing is attached. It's like such an integral part of the design. It's really nice how it helps to bring everything together. I love it. Okay, now I need the cardboard for this part there. Let me check for some adequate stuff. Yeah, and I think I will use here this kind of cardboard that has no waves in there. No waves in that, but I hope you know what I mean. For this will give me the smoothest surface. For right now, I have this stuff in there. And yeah, I want to get rid of it. And this is like the perfect moment to do that. Now first I have to somehow get the size of this. And I think I will just start cutting with a piece of I will just try to mimic the form by looking at it. And yeah, then I can press it in and just use pen and paper. Use pen and paper, no. And use a pen to like mark it. Oh. Okay, yeah, I should be. I should watch out that my whole plan of holding this thing up is not nullified by me just pushing this stuff more than I need to. Okay, I hope it's still in a good position. Where was the piece that I was working on? Okay, I try not to disturb the sides now, which proves to be somewhat difficult. Okay, I hope this is roughly what I need. Yeah, this is a bit difficult right now. For if I wouldn't have this pieces in place here, then I could just use some kind of paper, press it on here, and fold it into the edges, and this way get the shape of the surface. But here right now I have to watch out for this side tubing stuff. Okay, it seems like this could be somewhat accurate. And I can actually use this as one layer. Here, maybe I can show you a picture of what I'm going for. Here on the lower part, let me extend the top camera. On the lower part of the cheek thing here, there is this ridge, and the rest of the surface is angled inwards, and that's what I want to reproduce right now. And therefore I build up some just a couple of layers of cardboard, and each one will recede a bit more. But now just for the first layer, okay, it will be like this, and then the next pieces of cardboard will be smaller towards this lower edge. So I will kind of build a staircase from cardboard to get this angle. Here. And I will just use this non-wavy cardboard on the top layer. For that's where the smooth surface is needed. Now I will just trace this piece down 2 or 3 times. Yeah, this still fits on there. Then I will cut it out and shorten the lower edge. Okay, this is the top edge. This here is actually the low edge, but I'm first building here like something like a full scale thing, and I will just Oops. There is something wrong, like this. I need it like this. Okay. And here, once I see that everything lines up like this, then I can cut away. This is the master. Just that I know where I started from. Now, same thing here, and I think 3 layers plus 1 non-wavy layer should be enough to get the kind of edge that I'm looking for. Okay. Here. I think now the lower parts have had enough time to dry. So I will separate the mask. I will separate top and bottom part. Yeah, I can still. Okay, I will just give it time. And now I have a much more comfortable position to work on this part here. Okay, here, this is already coming up quite a bit. And I don't want it to come up any further, for I want the ridge of the nose to be visible. That's why I will break this down. And now I just try to find the piece that like completely fits in here, or is a little bit too big. And this here looks kind of good. I will still press here the whole thing down. Okay, and now I will attach the second layer to it. And I try to glue all parts on top of each other while not connecting it to the surface. And this way I can cut the angle once all parts are dry, and just then attach it to the whole structure. Now, this means I will just always here hold one piece in place here, and then I will add the piece on top of it here, just roughly, and I'm pushing it in here to like copy the curvature of the surface into my new pieces. For there's here you can like see this curvature, and I want these pieces to dry with this curvature present. Okay, now there will be the topmost piece. I will pre-bend it a bit, for then it's easier for this piece to conform to the curvature of the pieces below it. Whoopa. Okay. This looks good. Okay, this looks quite nice. The curvature is in the new pieces. Now I will let them dry a bit, and while they are drying, I will do the same for this surface. And there's some problems with what will you call it, with symmetry here, which I will try to address while building this stuff here. Yeah, but this additional these pieces should really help me to address the curvature issue. And here, as I said before, when there's no hindrance, or when there's no stuff that forbids you from really going into things, just take a piece of paper and try to copy all the edges to the paper, and this way it's kind of easy to copy a surface. Here now you can see I have like not the perfect, but something like a good representation of the surface. And now I can cut this out and use this as a template for my cardboard stuff. And in this way I have a very close approximation of the surface without much guessing. Okay, now I can check if it fits, and this should come as no surprise that it fits quite well. Here I can get rid of a little bit stuff on the inside here, and now I just need some more cardboard. And here I try to use the same cardboard that I used on the other side. Yeah, now I try to copy it over, or to outline the shape of the brown paper. And in this way I have my first masterpiece. For cheek number 2. Okay, I will pre-bend it a bit and test fit it. Okay, and once again, I don't really want to move up the inside too much. Yeah, I could shorten it on the top a bit. Here, there, I can get rid of some material. Yeah, this fits better. I will get rid of the lower edge, for that's where I will like bevel this thing here. Okay, once again I will mark this as my masterpiece, just so I don't get confused. I'm sorry, but I will have to clean my nose. Yeah, I hope I won't get sick. That would be like uncalled for. Okay, I had 3 layers on the opposing side. I will go for 3 layers on this side too. And then once again I will copy the curvature of the surface into these pieces here, and just when they're dried in their curved form, then I will start to shape them in the way that I need them to be. Okay, copy number 1. I will make it a bit easier for me to work. Okay, main objective is the lower edge of these pieces. If this always sticks out a bit too far. And now I will have to decide which one will be my lowest piece. I think I will start with this one. Yep. I will add glue and then press the other piece to the top of it and just wait a little while until the curvature is present in the new piece too. Okay. Here, just like this. I just need to press it in for a little while until here it has accepted its new form. There's like one more thing that I have to do here for I need to address a symmetry problem that I have, and for this I will add an in-between piece here. For look, wait, where can you see it best? I think, yeah, here. This is like a very gentle slope, and this is like a very nearly angular slope, and I want to have them look similar. Not really the same, but I don't want them to be off by this extreme amount. And that's why I will insert some pieces here, or insert a little bit of cardboard here. That will help me address this problem. Yeah, it should go right into the middle, and I will cut away the top part afterwards. Here, symmetry has been like the biggest problem or the biggest challenge on this build. For first up, it's like three separate pieces, or in the end it will be 4. Then it's kind of big, and it's not. The bigger something is, the easier, at least for me, it is to mess up the proportions. And then it's just curved surfaces everywhere, and that makes it like even more difficult to have everything in a or to watch out for the symmetry for all parts. Curved surfaces, big, and a lot of pieces that have to fit together is like not the ideal scenario, at least not for the way that I build stuff. For I'm just like modeling by sight. I have no blueprints or stuff. I don't print out any kind of pattern that I'm following. I'm just going at it freehand, and this can be quite challenging, at least for me. It's much easier if you have it in front of you, and you can always take move back a couple of steps. That's the same when drawing. It's much easier when you can see everything without moving your pupil. And that's where computers are like very helpful today. when you're illustrating on a computer, you can just make the picture smaller and bigger to your heart's content, and this way it's much less likely that you will end up with wrong proportions. Okay. Now this way. Now the last of these pieces, and I don't need a build up to the edge there, or here towards the middle of the nose. I just need a build up on the outside part of the cheek. That's why I cut this piece short. Now I will add this on top there, and this should be the last layer that I'm adding, and then I will work in the lower this kind of bevel here, or but maybe I need to add way more layers for when I'm checking the symmetry here between these two pieces. This is coming to the front. Yeah, I think I will use some kind of measuring instrument right in the next couple of minutes. For here, this is hard to see for me. For actually, now it looks, the symmetry now looks good. But that would mean that I still need to add at least 3 more layers to this side for it to conform to the other side. I will just try it. Now I have no masterpiece left, so I will have to build a new one. Yeah, this is a bit, I think tedious is a word. It just takes some time, but yeah, that's just the way it is. And I don't have to be anywhere anytime soon, so no problem. I'll just have to take a break, like in a couple of minutes, and then I will go outside and get myself something to drink. As long as I can still get stuff. But it's Friday and the shops are open most of the time. Okay, now I will have to change the understructure a bit for when I will, if I will just add more layers to it, then I'll have to make sure that this layer sits flush against the respirator. Yep, something like that. Here, I still don't want to really commit to it by gluing it down. So I try to, or I changed the proportions a number of times now. Always back and forth and back and forth. It always got better, but never good. So this has to be the last time that I do it. And that means I will just have this as a loose part. Where is my new piece? Here. I will just have this as a loose part there, and then I will just add on top, or add my stuff to the top of it. This can definitely be straightened out. Yeah, this mask and the proportions, it is difficult for me. But I read some interviews with some of the special effects people from episode 4, formerly known as A New Hope, without any episode indication, in which they said that even the main Vader mask is not completely symmetrical. And I wonder if they had similar problems there. One monitor just said bye-bye. For back in the day, there were no 3D printers and all that fancy stuff that makes it really easy to have a near perfect foundation for stuff that you're building. But what I'm doing here is not about a perfect Vader, but it's about a Vader that remembers me of back in the day. Okay. Now I will build 2 more of these pieces, and then I should reach the same level, or height-wise, as I have on the right side. Yeah, and then once I have the cheek problem covered, then I can return to the lower part of the mask for the stabilizers. Will have dried by now. And now part number 3. Okay, this is the piece just to conform. Here, I hope you can see it. Maybe it's the best thing to do it from the top camera. I don't know. No, like I tried like this. Here, this curvature, like, and this is better with this piece. So this is just there to bring this side closer to this side, and then on top of them, of these parts, I will add the parts that will help me to bevel the edge. That is what I'm planning, at least. Okay, these pieces will be like pre-bent again, and they will be added to the top here. And now I will just glue the top pieces together for just when I have the top three connected. Then I might glue down the lower part, and then check left and right cheek against one another. Okay, but the curvature looks, at least it looks much better. Yeah, we'll flatten these out, for I don't want to add to the height in the middle of the nose bridge. Or nose bridge, for the bridge of the nose. Okay, there will be a third piece now. Yeah, as I said before, this is not really the perfect build for a live stream, but I learned that now, or yeah, I had to experience this, or yeah, it's part of the learning experience. And the next thing that I will, once this is finished, which is just way in the future, or still way in the future, I will I will attempt smaller projects that will have more change within one streaming session. For here, right now it's just, or there are some streams where there is just some kind of micro management stuff. Yep, this is better. This is better. Okay, I will commit to glue in the lower part now. And then I will sculpt the edge. of the upper pieces here, and I want to get rid of a bit of cardboard here. Or this just makes it difficult for me to press the newly formed piece really to the lower wall here. Okay. Yep. Like this. And here I don't try to use too much glue, but more as to compare to the amount that I took to join the previous layers. Okay, I will correct all the edges after it dried, for that is much easier, for I have to build up or pull out kind of this edge a little bit. Maybe I can. And this, oops, this now. Yeah, the color conformity of this camera here is like, yeah, look at the two different colors from this camera to this camera. This is like a night and day thing. Here you can see that I like overshoot the edge here, and I will cut that to shape. And here I hope you can see this. Yeah, that here it's like misleading, for you can see the inside of the cardboard here, but the slope that I have now on this side much more reflects the slope on the other side, and that will help the overall look of the mask. For I will have one piece of cardboard running around a loop, running across the top of the cheeks and the top of the nose, so that there will be a unified look to it. And there it's very important that I have some kind of yeah, how would I call it? Some kind of yeah, I don't know the word. Coherent look. I think that's not really fitting, but yeah. So why I have this close-up view now? Here, maybe I can switch it to the bigger close-up view, is to show you what I want to do with these newly built cheek pieces. They will be glued in here like this. And now I will try to cut in this bevel here. That I have shown you on the picture. Yeah, here it starts to look kind of good. I think it could be a bit steeper. Here, this is a bit too shallow. So I will try to have the angle be a bit steeper. Here, more like this. I can work on the surface afterwards. Yeah, maybe I will even pull this up a bit to have it show up more. There I'm not sure yet, but what I know is that this can be flattened out a bit. Then I can like run it into the nose better. Okay, now the angle does not look shallow enough, or doesn't cover enough area, so I will like re-flatten it, for I need a bigger area to be covered by it, if you know what I mean, even though I wouldn't know what I mean if I would just listen to me. Yeah, I want this strip to be wider, so when you look at it, that it looks like it's there on purpose and not just by accident. Okay, this is in the right direction, and what I will add to this is this non-wavy cardboard as a top layer to get a smooth surface, and I think then it should look quite good. Now I will try to have the same cut angle on this side of the mask. You just have to... Okay, first up I can get or try to have a uniform starting point. Okay, that is good enough. Then, as I did on the other side, I will flatten the top part here to make it easier for me to blend it to the into the bridge of the nose. And now I will try to have the same cut on this side as I have on the other. And now I'm just looking for the white width of the strip. Yep, that is good enough. And here I have to get rid of some more cardboard. Okay, and now just to, before I glue them in there, I would like to check the distances here for okay, like middle of the cheek to here is 3.5 and there it's just 3. But this eye part comes out a bit more. This would mean that I would have to flatten the top side here, so there's less build up there. Damn symmetry, damn symmetry. And now I try to crush the internals of the cardboard to take away from its height. Okay. Now I need this top level cardboard here. Here, and I will roughly cut two pieces. Ah! Okay, it's big enough, but just here. Or is this part smaller? Yes, a little bit. Okay. So now I will attach this to the top, and you see this is like a perfect surface. And yeah, this is the surface that I'm aiming for the whole model, or at least the front parts of the model. There it is, like very important for me to have a smooth surface, for I will cover the whole model with glossy paint, with a glossy clear coat. And yeah, if a surface is not really flat, the reflection inside of the clear coated area will look very, very wobbly, and this will take away from the whole illusion of this being a uniform surface that is made from one piece of plastic or whatever. Oh, which way did I intend to glue this down? I think like this. I hope like this. Okay. Here, now I try to have this edge here be as close to my cut as possible. And yeah, I will put some glue onto here. For this will strengthen this whole strip that I cut here, and once the glue is dried, I can file it, or I can use sanding paper here on it to give it a really nice surface, and therefore it helps to strengthen the cardboard a bit. I will cut everything away after it dried. Now same for this piece here, and I need a little here. This is a convex, and I need some concavity here, just a little bit. I think this will work. Yep. Now this really conforms to the edge there. I don't want the sticker to be on there. And now I will pre-cut it if I would be able to find my scissors. Oh, here, I don't want this in here. There was an additional layer of cardboard. Okay, here, not perfect, but I try to come close to it, and now I can glue it down. And then I will put some glue into the front edge that I prepared there, here. For, as I said, I want to sandpaper it once it has really dried. Here, this surface here is like near perfect. And here, if you look at it, here on this surface, I already put in the time to cover the whole surface with this packing paper, or with this brown paper. And this is like the guideline for the surface quality that I'm aiming for. And that's why I'm working out from here now. Okay, this looks good. Let's check the other side. Yeah, I will roughly cut it just enough to be able to judge it. This looks kind of good too. Here, everything that is not perfect there can be sandpapered. Sandpaper. It can be sanded. And that will be one of the last steps that I'm taking right now. For it's 2.5 hours now, and I will take a break of roughly, I don't know, 40 minutes. I need to see what time it is. Yeah, I will be back, yeah, in something like 40 minutes. And I hope that these edges here will have dried up by then. So I can put this here. Here. I hope that these things will be dry enough for me to carve the outside. And I hope that, no, this is nearly dry. That I can start to work with this a bit more with exerting some kind of stress to these pieces. I will even, if I'm going into a little break now, then I will add some additional cardboard in here for, it will have some time to settle down. Where is my sculpting tool? Here. Now I can push this in here and further enhance the strengths of the side piping parts. Here on this side it looks actually quite good. Here I will test this against the lower part. Yeah, it's nearly good. Here. I have to push it outwards a little bit. for it started to creep back in. So it started to change its angle. Okay, the preparations are made for me to continue in something like 40 minutes, which would be something like 15 past the full hour. For here it's here it is. Well, what's the time? 11:30 p.m. So I will start at 0:15 a.m. Thanks for watching, and I will be back in 40-45 minutes. Bye bye. And